Coming to you live from the Radio Azad studios on the internet and on 1110 AM and 104.9 FM HD3. This is Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha. सुन रहे आप हमें live at www.radioazad.us on your radio dials on 104.9 FM HD3 and 1110 AM. Download the free Radio Azad app because that's going to be your best friend at least for the next month or so while we are all physically distancing at home. So download the app and you'll be able to keep us with you 24/7 and make sure that you're following Radio Azad on social media. बहुत important है जनाब. Radio Azad is on YouTube and Double Shot Espresso is on YouTube as well. We have shows that are going to be coming out every week on the Double Shot Espresso YouTube channel. So we'd love some attention to that as well. And if you like it, share it. Radio Azad, this is where your voice matters. And this is Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha. Hello.
Hello. How are we, Ayesha?
I am good. How about you?
Excellent. Alhamdulillah. All well so far and keeping the hopes up.
Good. Looking very nice today. Thank you for dressing up for me.
I know, right? Did it all for you. Not for the fact that I haven't really dressed up to go anywhere of late, but no, definitely for you. And I must say, she's wearing this most gorgeous grey and pink salwar suit. I just love these colors on you, and I think you should wear this more often.
Grey and pink. Well, I love black, so everything in my closet tends to go towards black, and I have to really stop myself from buying more black.
Yeah, really, right? Because black makes everything look...
Black is black.
Black is black. But pink is the common thread. You wearing pink, I'm wearing some pink.
There you go.
Because pink is our favorite color. You remember that song? Yeah, it was a good song.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about feedback. And feedback is actually one of the greatest gifts, actually, that you can give or you can receive. It's also one of the most feared ones as well. Great leadership means motivating and encouraging talent, and feedback is a very big element of that. So without it, an organization certainly cannot progress. But many a time, feedback is given the wrong way or at the wrong time, and it's also received the wrong way. So today we're going to be talking about why feedback is important, how it differs from criticism, and how to give and take feedback effectively. So we would like for the listeners to actually think about situations where they have either received feedback or given feedback and what they would like to improve upon. So that is the agenda for today.
Ji, bilkul. I think you've nailed it in a nutshell. Exactly that. And then obviously we look forward to our callers' input and how they have experienced, as you said, whether they've given feedback or when they have received feedback. Now, as we had written in our Facebook post as well, there are a lot of times at the end of every, you see videos on social media or you even... anything that you put out there on a public platform level, you, in the end, often I see people writing, your feedback will be greatly appreciated, or, look forward to your feedback, or, constructive feedback only, because now over the years people do realize that feedback ke naam pe you're just getting slammed. People pass judgment, people are pretty punishing literally in nature. I myself, I will be honest that when I sometimes put out my post, itne sare negative comments dene mein to it's like पहले पॉइंट निकाल लो कि भाई खराब क्या है इसमें, तो आपने ठहर के पॉज करके नोटिस करने की कोशिश की कि इज देयर समथिंग गुड आल्सो, और इज देयर द होल पोस्ट इज एब्सोल्युटली टेरिबल, और होल राइट अप और द होल आर्टिकल और द होल पोएम, व्हाटएवर इट मे बी. So I have noticed that that's just human nature. So it's like a two-way street. Log hai. Of course, we can spread the awareness and hope for a change, but at the same time, we ourselves need to be able to take that feedback, whether it is in the shape of a horrible criticism / constructive feedback or constructive criticism, and then move forward from that. So I look forward to talking, in depth about these things, because I really believe, don't you think, that the quickest and clearest way of actually having any kind of change in human behavior would be through feedback. There are so many times you and me, have impromptu feedback sessions. So what makes that tuning so right?
Right.
What doesn't make you feel bad or me feel bad? And we just, I think that's important.
I think it also comes from a place of trust. So let's talk about that. But we have a caller. Let's see what they have to say. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Hi, Tasneem and Ayesha.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Good. Great topic. I had to call.
Of course you do. And I'm very glad that you did. You give a lot of feedback being a teacher.
That's my job, pretty much giving feedback. So just to piggyback on what you're saying, of course, feedback, there's personal feedback between friends. And then उसमें अक्सर होता है, like you said, Tasneem, that people give feedback because everyone has an opinion that they think is right. It's just how you present it.
Bilkul.
And then the other person has to be open to it, and it depends on that relationship you've built, whether it's with your friends or at work or even as a teacher with students. So it depends on that relationship, and like you said, Aisha, trust. So there's a formula that we use. So there is something called a feedback sandwich.
Right.
Yes. I saw that.
Am I jumping ahead of you guys?
No, great. Go ahead. It's one of my most favorite techniques. So please share.
Okay. So, when we are meeting with parents, or even if I'm giving feedback to a student, it's really important to start with a positive. And sometimes it's a stretch to find that. But you have to find at least one positive thing. And then you get to the actual meat of the feedback that you want to give them. And it might be negative, but it's how you present it. And then you end with a positive. So that's your sandwich.
Kind of like a Whopper.
Oh, a Whopper is loaded.
Now it depends on simple and sweet and simple.
Yeah.
And do you find that this is received well?
No, because just between parents, a lot of times it's the person who's listening. They have a lot of their own ego tied up in that, and sometimes they feel that it's a attack on them.
Right.
So it's really hard for the person giving the feedback as well.
Yeah.
Not to get attacked, because most people do not. They're not open to feedback, and I don't know if that's something you guys can talk about, is how to be open to somebody giving you feedback, and it's not an attack on you personally. And one thing that we always tell children is, even when they do something wrong, and I correct parents as well, and I say, your child is not bad, and they'll say, oh, he's just a bad boy, he's just a bad kid. It's like, no. They made a poor choice. They are not a bad person.
Maybe the behavior is bad.
The behavior. You're focused on the behavior or the act or the action, but not the personality. You're a bad person.
Right.
You're always doing this. And one of those things is to stay away from. You always you.
Bilkul.
Yeah.
Bilkul. Great point, Sylvie. Thank you so much. Do call back.
Thank you.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम लेडीज।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। एक चीज जो कभी नहीं बदलती है वो आपकी मुस्कान, आपकी आवाज में।
और ये अंदर से आती है। देखिए, ये एक तरह का फीडबैक है कि आई एंजॉय द प्रोग्राम सो मच।
थैंक यू।
विदाउट यू ऑल इवन आस्किंग इट, दिस इज without asking a feedback, by its expression displays the situation.
We love
in the
that.
sense के ये एक feedback है कि I love the program and thank you for coming and doing the program. So and keep it going according to your convenience, you know. तो ये जैसे comments की तरह होते हैं feedback, comments जो COMMENTS, एक किस्म का आप समझिए मशवरा बोलें या praise बोलें या evaluation is the right word for it. और एक गोल रीच करने के लिए फीडबैक मिलना और फीडबैक देना बहुत जरूरी है।
बिल्कुल सही।
और मैं हमेशा उसी वक्त फीडबैक देती हूँ जब पूछा गया हो। आई ट्राई टू मेक इट स्पेसिफिक, अप टू द पॉइंट, और कंस्ट्रक्टिव और कॉन्क्रीट हो। ऐसा ना हो कि वो इंसान फील रन डाउन करे, बिकॉज मोस्ट पीपल डोंट टेक फीडबैक्स in a positive manner. So you have to be very diplomatic and polite and up to the point. और मैंने देखा जैसा फॉर एग्जांपल रियल एस्टेट के जब मैं ओपन हाउसेस करती थी तो जब लोग जब चले जाते थे तो उन लोगों से फीडबैक पूछती थी कि कैसा लगा उनको वो घर, तो वो फीडबैक देते थे और फिर ओनर तक पहुंचाती थी। तो उसमें कुछ ऐसा होता था कि रूम्स छोटे हैं या क्लटर्ड हैं, ये तो बहुत पोलाइटली वो पहुंचाना होता था ओनर्स को, क्योंकि वो फीडबैक मांग रहे थे कि वुड बी बायर्स ने क्या बोला है उनके घर के बारे में। तो मुझे बहुत पोलाइटली एक फ्रेमवर्क बना के उन तक पहुंचाना होता है कि घर इस तरह था या इस कंडीशन में था या बहुत अच्छा था या बहुत कम था, तो वो लोग भी वैसा लें, क्योंकि वो उनका गोल है घर बेचना अपना, और ये लोगों का घर है इवेंचुअली बायर्स का है कि घर खरीदना। तो दोनों लेना और देने में मेरा बीच का जो हिस्सा होता था वो बहुत गोल्ड रेफरेंस्ड होना होता था, यूजफुल होना होता था, and I should be very my language should be that it is not overwhelming to the person. So specific रहती हूँ, polite रहती हूँ, constructive रहती हूँ, up to the point रहती हूँ, जब पूछा गया है तब देती हूँ। और वही चीज मैं अपने लिए अगर फीडबैक मांग रही हूँ, जैसा मैं अब आप लोगों से फीडबैक मांग रही हूँ कि आपको मेरे कमेंट्स कैसे लगे।
Always to the point, always well prepared, well researched and analytical.
आजकल तो बहुत चल रहा है फीडबैक। जब भी आप टीवी लगाओ तो वो एक्सरसाइज के क्लासेस वाले बोलेंगे प्लीज गिव अस फीडबैक ऑन द लाइन एक्सरसाइज क्लासेस आपको कैसे दिखे। जो लोग ग्रोसरीज डिलीवर कर रहे हैं वो एक नोट छोड़ के जाते हैं, कि बताएं कि किस तरह उनकी डिलीवरी प्रोसेस कैसा रहा। तो देना बहुत जरूरी है फीडबैक, मगर अप टू द पॉइंट। एंड अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, डोंट डिले इट टू लॉन्ग। आफ्टर द फीडबैक इज आज टाइमली होना बहुत जरूरी है, देन इट हिट्स द पॉइंट। तो दोनों तरफ रही हूँ मैं, देने में भी लेने में भी, और वही बिहेवियर रहा है देते वक्त भी वैसा बिहेवियर, लेते वक्त मैं बहुत ओपन हूँ, बिकॉज आई फील that will improve my goals and lead me towards my goals and improve my personality. Thank you, ladies. Have a good one.
Wait, Shahnaz ji, you know you can't run away without me asking you a question. But she did run away. So Shahnaz ji, you have to give us a call back. Ji.
So yeah, I mean, as always, Shahnaz ji always kind of puts it all in a nice in a nice wrapped package. And so many points that we are going to, as we progress, have been covered. The how to give, and a little bit of how to receive as well. So I look forward to talking about all of that. But two things that I really struck out for me was, जो बाद में भी आएंगे, but I think I want to mention it here, इसके जो उन्होंने बोला ना, पूछे तब, वो बहुत फर्क पड़ता है उससे। बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स आई डू अंडरस्टैंड कि हर सर्कमस्टांस में ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। डोंट यू एग्री कि भाई ओनली आफ्टर आस्किंग कैन यू गिव। कभी कभी हालात ऐसे होते हैं, पोजीशन ऐसी होती है कि यू नीड टू गिव द फीडबैक।
I think when you're the head of an organization, then you have to, you have to point out what things your employees or your co-workers can do, which can improve the situation, which is in the best interest of the organization.
Yeah, and the individual for their own personal growth as well as the growth of the organization. तो उन हालातों में कैसे होना चाहिए वो सब हम बातें आगे चलते हुए करेंगे। और जो उन्होंने बोला कि जल्दी दे दे, दैट वाज माय सेकंड पॉइंट, कि कभी कभी हम बहुत बोलते हैं कि हाँ देंगे और फिर वो एक जो मोमेंट चला जाता है, यू लूज द मोमेंट, देन द इम्पैक्टनेस एंड द इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ द फीडबैक आई फील इज डिमिनिश्ड, बिकॉज 2 महीने 3 महीने पहला वाला चीज़ जो हो चुकी है उसके ऊपर फीडबैक देना, इवन आई फील a week 10 days later sometimes is too late.
Hold that thought, because I have a question about that. Let's do that. Take a caller. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. कैसे हैं?
Alhamdulillah. Another beautiful day in paradise.
Yes, sure is. It's a remarkable, sparkling day outside.
A bit cold, but still very remarkable.
अब ये बताएं कि ये सर्दी कब खत्म होगी?
Hey, don't. नहीं, I love this weather. It's just delightful.
It's beautiful. That's what I'm saying. It's fantastic. No problem at all.
जी.
we'll take it whatever we can get good and
Right.
healthy. So
बताइए
आपके
फीडबैक के
topic
बारे
पे-
में जी.
हाँ, देखें, अगर क्रिटिसाइज करना हो फीडबैक पे तो प्राइवेट में देना चाहिए.
Good point.
Good.
Criticize
Yeah.
should be in private, and constructive and positive should be in open.
जी.
ना, क्योंकि देखें हमारा मकसद क्या है, बनाना, इम्प्रूव करना, इनहेंस करना, राइट? तो ये सब चीजों को बहुत ख्याल करना चाहिए when it comes down to feedback,
Right.
and be I guess honest, but focus on constructive, focus on the objectives, focus on building, not breaking, improving, not discouraging.
Right.
All of those things has to be there, and truly, if you focus on some of these points, there's so many points, but just these points, then you will be able to accomplish what you wanted, right?
Right.
Your
Right.
side of it. Plus, you're going to help the other people, and in turn, you're going to establish a relationship.
Right.
So, that's what I do. Many projects, many things, you deal with the different stakeholders, right? And so this is the strategy that I have used. And thank God I can say that I have been able to successfully not only accomplish, but establish the relationship.
Wonderful.
Very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, such great points, na? I mean, जब मैं सोचने जाती हूँ, but human experience, human interaction. I'm sure that all our listeners have much to share. So you were saying you were going to ask a question about the timing.
I was going to ask two questions. One is a comment that for me personally, I think positive feedback really serves as a motivator. Any kind of positive comments that you get, I think they're very uplifting and the person wants to try harder. And I think if negative feedback, when given correctly and at the correct time, I love to get it because I feel it can help improve my game.
बिल्कुल.
So, but the thing is that it helps you work on your shortcomings, but it has to be presented in a very respectful, timely manner, which are the points that you're going to be talking about. And as Sylvie talked about, the sandwich, I always try and employ that technique because I feel that nobody wants negative feedback. Nobody.
जी.
Yes, we all want to improve, but we want it put in a
nice way.
In a nice way, right?
Human nature, yes.
Yeah, bilkul. And the other point is what Shahnazji was saying about she gives feedback when it is asked. So the question that I want to ask you and throw out to our listeners is, should we ever give unsolicited feedback? Let's say it's your best friend. And you don't like her makeup, or you don't like her clothes, or you don't like something that he has done. Should you आप उसको क्या नज़रअंदाज करना चाहिए, या फिर आपने as a particular point should you actually pick up that phone, or during a conversation should you tell them? That's just your personal opinion. But does it matter in the grand scheme of things for you to point it out?
A few things in my opinion. कि पहले तो relationship पे matter करता है कि भाई if it is a complete stranger जिसको मैं जानती ही नहीं, oops, sorry. So if it's a person who I don't know at all, but I still want to say, then it depends on the importance of the subject matter. So if it's just a lipstick shade which she wears, which is outlandish in my opinion, but she seems to be happy and loving it, then I'd kind of hold back and say, wo khush hai, to wo uski choice hai. But if it's something which is more compelling, like she's, probably doing something which I feel is hurting herself or, someone else in the process, then one jo main karti hu, and let me know if you agree and what you think about it, is कि मैं पूछ लेती हूँ कि can I tell you something? Would you be open? I mean, it's just my opinion, but would you care to listen to it? So you get a buy-in. You immediately get a buy-in at that point because the person will say, yeah, sure. I mean, usually वही response होता है 8 out of 10 times. और अगर वो दो, खुदा ना खास्ता वो बोले कि no, really not right now, I hold back and I say, fair enough. Whenever you're ready, I have something on my mind I'd love to share. That's it. What do you think?
I think giving unsolicited advice can ruin relationships. And that's why I think people tend to hold back.
Yes, as far as possible.
Yeah, rather than, actually putting it all out there. And I think you really have to reevaluate like you said, what is significance of the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then again, it can be your personal opinion.
बिल्कुल.
Are they going to listen to your personal opinion or not?
हाँ, तो it really exactly as we are talking, I feel कि इतनी सारी चीज़ों पे डिपेंड होता है. पहले तो आपका रिश्ता, फिर वो मुद्दा, फिर उसके बाद आपका तरीका, फिर वो हालात. अभी यहाँ इस कोविड-19 में अगर आप कोई स्मॉल सी फीडबैक दे रहे तो आई डोंट थिंक पीपल आर रियली इंटरेस्टेड. बट कोई रियली इंपॉर्टेंट है जिसकी हेल्थ और सेफ्टी वेलनेस पे असर पड़ सकता है, तो या मे बी इफ यू आस्क दे वुड बी विलिंग. एंड वी हैड अ caller, but now it's
all right. We need to take a commercial break. Let's do that, and we will be right back. You are listening to and watching us on YouTube. Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha, life coach Tasneem and Ayesha, and we're talking about feedback. Sun rahe aap Radio Azad, and this is Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha, and we are talking about feedback today. 9725019390 is the studio number. और आप कॉल कर सकते हैं और हमसे बातचीत कर सकते हैं. What do you think about giving and taking feedback? All right, let's take a caller. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
नमस्ते आयशा जी.
नमस्ते ममता जी, कैसी हैं आप?
बस ठीक हूँ. आप दो लोग हैं, दोनों को नमस्कार मेरा बहुत बहुत सा.
नमस्कार ममता जी, कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक है. और फीडबैक में हम तो यही कहेंगे कि अगर हम गलत काम कर रहे हैं और कोई मुझसे कह दे कि यार ये बात गलत है, तब तो हम नहीं कुछ कहेंगे, मान लेंगे. लेकिन अगर हम सही रास्ते पर चल रहे हैं, अपना अच्छा काम ठीक काम कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए अगर कोई कहेगा तो हम नहीं मानेंगे, जरूर उसे उसका जवाब देंगे. या लाइक एनीथिंग, किसी भी तरह का, या हम कोई कपड़ा भी अच्छा पहना है या कोई कहीं जा रहा है तो कहेगा कि हाँ नहीं जाइए, यहाँ जाना मतलब जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन हम कहेंगे कि नहीं हमें बहुत जरूरी है, हमें ये काम करना है, आई हैव टू गो, सो आई हैव टू गो. कोई भी काम मुझे हर समय तो आप हस्बैंड वाइफ कोई भी बात करते हैं, अगर सही है तो हम कहते हैं
बिल्कुल
ये सही है, ये करना है.
अगर कोई अपने दिल से कुछ कर रहा हो तो अगर इफ इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू मेक और ब्रेक एनी मेजर लाइफ चेंजिंग डिसीजन, करना देना चाहिए, है ना?
हाँ, या दैट्स ट्रू. मेजर लाइफ अपना ये है कि अपना भाई इतना गलत मतलब किसी को नहीं कहिए कि ताकि बहुत दुख लग जाए, खराब लग जाए. लेकिन हाँ, ये जरूरत है बताने की कि नहीं ये चीज सही है, ये राइट है, दिस इज नॉट रॉन्ग.
ठीक है, परफेक्ट. थैंक यू ममता जी कॉल करने का और अच्छे पॉइंट देने का. थैंक यू सो मच.
बाय
बाय.
Yeah, it's so true. I think जो हम बात कर रहे थे वो वही ममता जी भी कह रही थी कि but if it's not going to really make any life or death situation changes, and forget life and death, वो तो फिर I think it becomes extreme. But even if it's not going to really improve something substantial, constructive, and there's small life choices, I think we should just refrain unless the person then asks कि भाई ये मेरा कैसा लग रहा है, मेरा मेकअप कैसा लग रहा है, मेरा आउटफिट कैसा लग रहा है, or whatever it may be.
अगर बीवी आपसे पूछे कि क्या मैं मोटी लग रही हूँ तो क्या हस्बैंड
That's a good one.
तो हस्बैंड्स को क्या जवाब देना चाहिए? हस्बैंड से पूछते हैं इसके बारे में थ्रू आउट द शो.
Exactly. वो एक फीडबैक. क्या
that should be a rapid fire question. We'll get the wives and the husband's perspective.
Exactly. Probably by the end of it, come up with a standard feedback. कि ये standard feedback होना चाहिए for that question.
जी.
So yeah, moving along then, the next thing, let's talk about feedback and criticism, because a lot of times feedback को लोग criticism भी बोलते हैं कि भाई give me constructive criticism. कभी कभी वो constructive word ही भूल जाते हैं और फिर सिर्फ criticism रह जाता है. But let's identify then what's the main difference between feedback and criticism. So जो Webster's की definition है feedback की, वो है information about reactions to a product, a person's performance of a task, etc., which is used as a basis for improvement. और जो criticism की feedback definition है, वो है to express disapproval of someone or something, to talk about the problems or faults of someone or something.
To talk about the faults.
Exactly. So the main key difference ही वहाँ definition में ही जो निकल के आता है कि criticism somewhere involves fault finding and judgment, where feedback is more focused on corrective information and thereafter the improvement. So I have 3 questions here जो अपने आप से अगर लोग पूछें while giving feedback, तो that will help identifying between criticism and feedback. But before we get started there, we have a caller. Let's take them.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
हेलो लेडीज, कैसी हैं आप लोग?
बिल्कुल ठीक अफशा, आप बताएं.
बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक. और वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फीडबैक के बारे में. यानी फीडबैक बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होती है, ये तो खैर फैक्ट है, क्योंकि अगर हमें फीडबैक नहीं मिलेगी तो हमें पता नहीं चलेगा कि हम कैसे कर रहे हैं दूसरे के पर्सपेक्टिव से. लेकिन फीडबैक, पहली इंपॉर्टेंट बात जो अभी आप लोग कर भी रहे थे कि रिलेशनशिप कहाँ से आ रही है फीडबैक, वो बंदे की या बंदी की इंटेंशन क्या है, क्या वो आप में इम्प्रूवमेंट चाह रहा है, क्या वो आपकी बेहतरी चाह रहा है, या ये क्रिटिसिज्म आ कहाँ से रही है, ये बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है ना. हाउ यू सेइंग इट, दैट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यानी अगर आप, मैंने ये भी देखा है, आप यकीन कीजिए कि अगर आप मुस्तकिल तनकीदी कर रहे हैं, नेगेटिव पॉइंट, तो एट दैट पॉइंट द पर्सन इज से जस्ट लीव इट, जस्ट क्विट दैट थिंग.
Very good point.
And even that person is good, he wanted to do that, he quit that thing. So ये बहुत ज्यादा important है, and I want to mention that point.
Excellent points, Afsha. Very, very
Thank you
good.
for listening to your show, ladies.
Thank you.
2 very important points. Intention क्या है उस
Yeah.
बंदे की. अच्छा, I think just because of my role in the studio, जहाँ पे people do a lot of postings, और जहाँ पे मुझे typo नजर आया या कोई grammatical mistake नजर आई, my first instinct always is to correct it, not to put the person down, but I'm like, okay, what we put out there needs to be 100%
Bilkul.
perfect, and that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, and I love it when people will message me and say, hey, you made a typo on that, or वहाँ पे हमारे fat thumbs की वजह से गलती हो गई.
और आजकल तो ऑटो करेक्ट आप टाइप कुछ करते हो, कुछ हो जाता है और
Yeah.
फिर वो नजरअंदाज हो जाता है.
Exactly. So I think for me that's a big thing, if we put factually correct information out there and then grammatically correct and things like that, that's just part of who I am, I think. But like Afsha said, the intention is not to bring the other person down. The intention is to actually lift the other person up, because to me it's important that each and every one of my colleagues puts their best face forward.
Yeah.
There are some people who जो कीड़े निकालते हैं in everything. You just put out a certain thing, and their first instinct is always to criticize.
जी.
Talk about that, Tasneem.
बिल्कुल. I mean, another incident that came to mind when you were talking is like मैंने एक फोटो लगाई थी मेरी, जिसमें मैंने एक स्नैपचैट का फिल्टर यूज किया था, वो जो शुगल वाले फिल्टर्स होते हैं, not with the bunny rabbit ears and all that, but just a filter which kind of makes you have those lashes and all of that kind of stuff. You won't believe it, I had 6 or 7 people privately message me and saying, I think your filter is too much. I think you're looking too artificial. I think this, I think that. I'm like, for God's sake, chillax. Yeah, it's just for fun. Relax. जब कोई अच्छी तस्वीर डालती हो तब तो आप बोलते नहीं हो कि भाई बहुत अच्छी लग रही है. लेकिन जब जो कुछ आपको नहीं पसंद है, आप फौरन आके ऐसे without really finding something that you can like, laugh at it or smile with me because I've just done it for fun. So exactly what you said, the intention. Why do I receive it not in a very appropriate way is because I doubt the intention. So I think a lot of when you are giving that kind of feedback depends on these small things in life जहाँ पे आपको बताना है, depends on tonality, tone of voice, and obviously the relationship and the intention behind it. और जब आप SMS या ऐसे written में अगर feedback ये वाली दे रहे हैं तो I think just soften it sometimes with a please or hey, have a look. You make it friendly, you put a smiley here and there. It's just make it so condescending.
बिल्कुल. Let's see, we have a caller. Radio Azad, you're on the air. Hello.
हेलो
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम बेटा. तुम दोनों को बहुत बहुत दुआएं.
शुक्रिया.
आयशा दोनों को
थैंक यू सो
मैं
मच.
सुन रही हूँ इतनी देर से तो मुझे लगता है कि यानी लोग जो इतराज करते हैं बात की आदत होती है, कुछ भी बात बना के बोलते हैं.
बिल्कुल सही.
तो उनकी तो जाहिर है नहीं सुनेगा आदमी.
बिल्कुल.
उनकी तसल्ली उसी में होती है. तो मानेगा ही नहीं तो फिर वो जाहिर बात की आदत होती. तो वो ऐसे तो इंसान अच्छी बात तो सब जानता है, सब समझता है, तो अच्छी बात तो मतलब करेगा. मगर जो लोग की आदत होती है, यानी जो बुजुर्ग बता रहे हैं तो उनकी समझ में आती है बात कि हाँ उनकी बात माननी चाहिए, उनका तजुर्बा है. और जो और लोग बोलते हैं तो पता चल जाता है कि किस अंदाज में बोल रहे हैं, तो वो तो मानने की बात ही नहीं है.
परफेक्ट. वेरी गुड.
तो मानने की बात ही नहीं है. वो खुद अपने से बेशक उनका साथ ज्यादा नहीं रहेगा आदमी, मगर बुजुर्गों में इज्जत के साथ समझाया भी जा सकता है क्योंकि वो वक्त कुछ है और आपका वक्त कुछ है. तो मगर अच्छी बात सबको मालूम होती है, मगर बाज लोग जो खराब बात निकालते हैं वो अंदर से कुछ गड़बड़ होते हैं.
बिल्कुल सही. बिल्कुल सही.
ठीक है. तो सुनते तो मुझे अच्छा लगा. मैं अपने भी बोलूं, ममता जी भी जो बोल गई ना,
बहुत अच्छा.
तो हाँ, जैसे आयशा भी बोल गई वो तो सही है कि ये देखेगा ना कि क्या मानना है क्या नहीं मानना, कौन कैसे बोल रहा है
जी,
किस तरह से इतराज कर रहा है या समझा रहा है या वो बात अलग, उस अंदाज से आदमी वो काम करेगा.
बिल्कुल सही.
बिल्कुल हाँ, बिल्कुल गलत बात तो करेगा ही नहीं, सुनेगा ही नहीं, बहस ही नहीं करना है.
बिल्कुल सही. गुड पॉइंट निशात आंटी, थैंक यू. सच अ ग्रेट पॉइंट. राइट. लोगों की कभी कभी आदत होती है, नफशा ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस, लोगों की कभी कभी आदत होती है टू कॉन्स्टेंटली एतराज़ करना हर चीज़ पर. Tasneem, do you think that this is a control issue?
To just constantly give your feedback,
or criticize, I think.
Criticize, give feedback unconstructively. I think it would be more of a need to not be open towards life. एक नजरिया you only see life the way you see it. You're not really willing to put yourself in the other person's shoes या किसी और के नजरिए से वो एक open mindedness जो SKF जी ने भी उनके points में with openness, तो openness को इतना undervalue कर देते हैं कभी कभी, but openness is so important when you are giving feedback. For a moment, pause and just think from the other person's shoes and not only from the way आपका नज़रिया लिमिटेड हो सकता है, उसकी जर्नी अलग हो सकती है, उसके व्यू पॉइंट्स अलग हो सकते हैं, तो उसको पहले समझने की थोड़ी एक पॉज लीजिए फिर उसके बाद दीजिए. सो आई थिंक इट्स मोर ऑफ अ लैक ऑफ नॉट बीइंग ओपन. बट येस, along with that, I would say that to a certain extent, sometimes when you just want things done your way, then you feel that everything else is just not right or not good enough, and that can come from a root cause of wanting to stay on top of things and in control all the time.
Okay, going back to
going back to criticism and feedback. तो definition हमने discuss की, तो 3 questions. पहले तो क्रिटिसिज्म के डेफिनेशन में हमने देखा कि जजमेंट और फॉल्ट का वर्ड यूज किया गया है, whereas जो फीडबैक की डेफिनेशन थी, इन दैट दे हैड यूज्ड द वर्ड ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट, एंड that by itself is what you need to bear in mind when you're giving feedback. So what happens with effective people, individuals, managers, leaders, whatever you want to call them, they have the intention to help people get better, and they don't focus too much on the past event that has already happened, rather than they focus on going forward कि अभी आगे क्या करना है. So most important then, the question that you should be asking yourself is, are you more interested in helping or are you more interested in blaming?
Are you more interested in helping or more interested in blaming?
Because when you're giving criticism, you're blaming. कि भाई ऐसा हुआ था, वैसा हुआ था, तूने ऐसे किया, वैसे किया. You're still very much in the past. Past को तो change नहीं कर सकते हैं.
Right.
अगर आपको feedback देनी है तो वो past का लेके आगे कैसे बढ़ना है, उसको help करना है, ना कि उसको सिर्फ blame करके छोड़ देना. तो वो हो गया first सवाल.
Let's take a
Caller कर लेते हैं.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello. Funnel cake, or which other type of cake has been made in the household?
Ji, hello.
Hello.
Ji, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I thought I was not on the air. Yeah. What would you call if a mother criticizes her daughter? Because does she want a perfection from her, or does she? But it makes the daughter feel a little, that the mother doesn't appreciate her at all. It's not that, I think. It's just that it's the question of perfection in it.
All right. Good question.
Very good question. I think my mom and you, Auntie, can have a very deep conversation about this.
Yeah.
Because, I feel I relate with this question, and it's such an excellent question. माँ जो होती है ना, I think वो अपने son ho, daughter ho, I feel mom and daughter relationship is more deeper, but any child, son or daughter, I feel that need to see your child the way in that perfect mold. So when you don't see that happening, you don't hesitate, because it's your child. You don't hesitate with giving the feedback. The child, on the other hand, having grown up or having had their own experiences, has their own opinion now and feels that, oh yes, I respect your point of view, but here's how I see it. And this would be an ideal communication, but not many times it happens this way, because sometimes जब फट से माँ बाप बोल देते हैं तो बच्चों को बुरा लग जाता है, बच्चे भी फट से कुछ और बोल देते हैं तो माँ बाप को बुरा लग जाता है कि आप you don't want to really my opinion doesn't matter to you anymore now, और मैंने तुझे पैदा किया है. So I think in this, the way you say it, I think really matters. What do you think, Ayesha?
I think there's several issues here, Tasneem, because I think it depends on the frequency. And I think as a parent, and I know I've done this with my children as well, sometimes we're so quick to point out all the negative things that we don't appreciate the positive things. And I know my kids have turned around to me and they said, we can't ever do anything right. And you know what? That just totally blew me away. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to step back and I need to appreciate my child when they do something good, not only when they are doing something bad. Number one. Number two, I don't think we realize the frequency with which we are constantly criticizing our kids. And if it's just something day in and day out, and you can never meet that standard of perfection, then you know what? Let's go back to what we said a little earlier. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Do we have to point out every little thing that, our child does wrong? No, we don't.
Sahi.
Is it for things that are supremely important, that are life changing, or relationship changing, or anything like that? Then yes, I think those should be discussed in a proper manner. So I think these two things, giving the good with the bad, holding back on the frequency, I think really makes a lot of difference. Look, who's the child going to go to when they want feedback, when they want support, where, who are they going to go to? They're
Yeah.
going to go to their parent. Right?
Yeah, if you've established that kind
That
of a
relationship.
reliability and that relationship, true.
Yeah. So I think then when you just constantly get just the bad all the time, day in and day out, then you sort of withdraw and you're like, okay, I'm never going to get anything. Or I'll never meet my parents' expectations. This is where it actually boils down to. We have a couple of callers. Let's take them on the air. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
हाँ, बच्चों के साथ बैलेंस बहुत जरूरी है.
जी.
कभी भी ये नहीं फील कराना कि यू आर ट्राइंग टू कंपेयर देम विद अदर्स. एक मैंने देखा है कि जब बच्चों के साथ बात करते हैं तो हमेशा दूसरे बच्चों के साथ कंपेयर करते हैं, माएँ या बेटियां या आगे चल के बेटियां जब खुद माएँ होती हैं या सन फादर पेरेंट्स जो हैं, कभी कंपेयर ना करें अपने बच्चों को किसी के साथ. बैलेंस के साथ बात करें और उनके साथ एज एन इंडिविजुअल बात करें.
बिल्कुल.
बात बताना मांगती थी कि जब मेरी अम्मी मुझे कहती थी ना कि ये करना और वो करना, ये तुमने सही नहीं किया, तो मुझे उस टाइम बड़ा बुरा लगता था. ऐसा लगता था कि मेरी ग्रोथ में रुकावट आ रही है. मगर जब मेरी अम्मी गुजरी और मैं उनके सामान आई वाज सॉर्टिंग इट आउट, सो देयर इज अ 1 मिनट का है, ये मैं सिर्फ आप लोगों से शेयर करना मांगती हूँ. व्हाट शी रोट. डियर डॉटर, आई एम प्राउड ऑफ द वे यू हैव ग्रोन अप. I admit I still worry at times because the world has changed a lot since you were born. Many of the choices you have made have been very difficult, and at that time I could not understand. But as I grow older and I see you blooming, I respect your courage and independence in making them. You are doing all you can to be the person you want to be, and I admire that, my dear daughter. And remember, no matter what life brings, you'll always be my daughter, you'll always be my child, and I will always love you. तो बोलने का मकसद है कि माँ बाप जो बोलते हैं उनमें एक नसीहत होती है, मगर जिस तरह से वो बोलते हैं वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो फीडबैक ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव हो, पर्सनल लेवल की बात कर रही हूँ मैं. क्रिटिसिज्म कम हो, और अगर कंस्ट्रक्टिव क्रिटिसिज्म है तो प्राइवेट में हो.
बिल्कुल.
तो ये मैं बता रही थी.
Did
Thank
she,
you so much. Thank you.
Shanaz ji, did she ever tell you this when she was living, or did you only discover this in the letter?
नहीं, मुझे ऐसा डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि उनकी कई ऐसी थी, उनकी जैसी सोच थी कि मैं जल्दी शादी कर लूं मैं, बिकॉज हम लोग जिस उससे गुजर रहे थे ना, तो वो कहती थी हम लोग के पास सिवाय इज्जत के कुछ नहीं है, अच्छा होगा कि शनाज की शादी जल्द से जल्द कर देते हैं ताकि हमारे में लोअर मिडिल क्लास हो गए थे ना हम लोग, बहुत एफ्लुएंट क्लास से, और लोअर मिडिल क्लास में रिस्पेक्ट की बहुत, लड़की की आबरू और इज्जत की बहुत बात होती थी. और चूंकि को एजुकेशन में मैं पढ़ती थी तो अम्मी को हमेशा घबराहट रहती थी कि कहीं भटक ना जाऊं उनके नजर के लिहाज से. मगर मेरी सोच अलग थी, मैं यहाँ आके पढ़ना मांगती थी, मैं अकेला आना मांगती थी, तो उसके लिए एक स्ट्रगल पुट करना पड़ा. बट इन द एंड आई प्रूव दैट आई वाज राइट ऑल अलोंग. तो आपने पूछा ना उन्होंने लाइफ में बोला क्या, for parents sometimes it's very difficult to admit that what they were saying was right all along. But in the last days when I had applied for her SSI, जब मैंने उनका citizenship दिलवाया, काफी कामें फैमिली के लिए की, तो वो सबको बोलते फिरती थी कि शहनाज अपने से जो भी बनी है she has earned it, you know. मेरा ज्यादातर कंजर्वेटिव मेरी थिंकिंग थी. तो मुझे बोला तो है through these cards, but this special card I got which was there is a lot, there are 3-4 pages attached to it, बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा आप लोगों का, बट लाइफ टाइम में डिफरेंट एक्सप्रेशन से उन्होंने बोला, मगर उतना 1000 गुना अपनी सोच को भी सही समझा. फिर भी उन्होंने कहा इन दी एंड तुम्हारी शादी ही हुई और माशाल्लाह तुम इतनी अच्छी बीवी हो, वही चीजें तुम कर रही हो एंड ऑल दैट. तो मिक्स रहता था, मगर वो बहुत अच्छा फील करती थी जब लोग बोलते थे कि ये लड़की, पूरे घर को उन्होंने सिटीजनशिप दिलवाया और मनी भेजती थी मैं घर वापस, एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स. आई डोंट वांट टू टॉक. ये मेरे ऊपर में ये मेरी माने क्या, मेरी खुशकिस्मती है कि मैं अपनी फैमिली की हेल्प कर सकी. So thank you. Take care. Thank you for listening. Okay, take care.
Thank you for sharing that lovely card with us. I think, the job of a parent is to, in a lot of ways, build their child's self-confidence. And I think that's a very important responsibility that we have upon us. And I think one that we don't do enough of. दुनिया तो हमें ठोकरें तो बहुत देती है, right? We get it from all different sides. But the unit that loves us unconditionally and supports us unconditionally is what?
Family.
Family. So I'm not saying lie and do false sara waqt tareef kare, but I think realize that we have a very important job on our shoulders, which is to build each other up rather than take each other down. Let's quickly take this call and then get into a commercial break. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम शाहिदा जी.
मैं सुन रही थी आपका प्रोग्राम काफी देर से एंड जस्ट थिंकिंग एंड collecting my thoughts on that. So I agree with you 100% के parents, as a parents lot of times we think कि जब हम बच्चे को criticize करेंगे, उसे down करेंगे, it will work in a different way and it will motivate it, which is very, very wrong in my opinion. And especially अगर बच्चे जो हैं they are doing the right things, then we just need to encourage them, just need to appreciate that yes, you are doing, realizing what struggles they are going through, instead of कि नहीं तुम्हें perfectionist बनना है, and then we make them think that they have to be perfectionist, और फिर वो इतना ज़्यादा वो हो जाते हैं कि if they are not being perfectionist, they are disappointed from themselves also. And later on in their life, they think we are not
good enough. Excellent.
Especially उन बच्चों के साथ जिनके अपने goals होते हैं, जिनकी अपनी हर वो होता है कि नहीं we have to accomplish that, we have to do that. उनके लिए I think negative criticism works in a very, very bad way.
Excellent. Excellent point. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, that's all. I'm sitting in the sun. बाहर थोड़ी सी हवा थी तो मैंने अपने बेटे को कहा मैं धूप में बैठना चाहती हूँ. उसने कहा मॉम bundle up, go and sit outside.
Lovely.
And that's what I'm doing and listening to you and Tasneem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shahida ji. Excellent point. All right, we need to take a commercial break. Let's do that and then we'll continue with the show. You are listening to Radio Azad and this is Double Shot Espresso with life coach Tasneem and Ayesha.